So the good thing is there are lots of HubSpot tools to simplify your data management. The first one, required fields and validation rules. Required fields at the start of your sales processes are a must-have. They kind of, I've worked with a lot of sales guys, and I don't think our sales team would mind me saying, like, they're there to sell. We're not there to do admin. So unless you kind of put that good friction in to get them to fill in the data points, they're not going to do it. So having required fields in there is an absolute must for your sales processes. But HubSpot's just recently brought out regex validation as well. So setting up validation rules on custom properties, it gives you really, really granular control over the types of fields that go in, or the values that go into those fields as well. So field level validation, really useful. The next thing I would say is macro channel workflows. Oh, sorry. What we mean by this is anybody who's ever looked at the original source fields in HubSpot realizes they're a bit of a dumping ground for every bit of data you could think of. And it can become really confusing when you're trying to figure out where this all fits together. So what a macro channel workflow does, it basically takes all that information, pushes it into like larger segments such as paid media, inbound, self-sourced, and it just organizes and simplifies your entire system to give you actionable data points. Going back to AI, the reason that's valuable, the easier it is for you to understand the data, the easier it is for the AI to understand the data as well. And then finally, we've got segmented workflows. This allows you to segment based on behaviors, demographics, engagement levels, and this allows you to send really highly segmented and targeted data. Why that's really important, it just makes everyone's lives easier. The sooner you can reduce the noise in your data and give yourself actionable insights, the better it is for you and your team, the better it is for your AI tools as well. And HubSpot's also got the data quality features. I kind of spoke about the Ops Hub briefly earlier on. The Ops Hub and the data quality features will really help to sort of supercharge this. By identifying your duplicate data, you should really be doing this on like a bi-weekly or a monthly basis and going through and trying to clear out as many duplicates as possible. The less duplicate data you've got, the more accurate your data is, the easier it is for your AI to basically get insights for you. Merge your contacts and companies. This needs to be done carefully, but again, same way with duplicate data. By merging your companies, you're giving more accurate data. Like we said before as well, if you have properties that aren't actually being used, then they shouldn't be in the system. It's the same thing as like, you don't want to live in like a messy house. So you just need to kind of do a bit of a clear out every so often, make sure that you're only tracking what you need to. And then finally, you need to address missing data. Like if you are missing loads of data, you need to ask yourself, why? Is it that a process isn't being adhered to? Or is it that we just don't need that data, so people aren't collecting it? The next point is really about how you customize your CRM. We get a lot of CRM optimizations. And the first thing that we notice is that people have put HubSpot in, but they've not actually taken time to figure out how they customize the system for themselves. You need to make it easy for your team and for people who are going to be collecting the data to put it in the right place. If somebody has to go in, go to view all properties, scroll through 400 properties to find one tiny data point, that's not useful for them. It's not useful for you. So the way we would say it is, make sure that you've customized your record views to the actual needs of the end user. If you haven't done that, it's a really good quick win to kind of get your CRM and get your data in a much better state. The next one is breeze intelligence. So this obviously HubSpot's inbuilt AI tool. You've got data enrichment where which uses what was formerly Clearbit. That can basically bring in things like annual revenue, employee range, roles, all of that information that can just be done at the click of a button. Again, the price, it's quite low price and very competitive with the other data enrichment platforms. But again, instead of you having to go and hunt for this data, you can just now, with a click of a button, bring it into HubSpot and fix any data holes you've got. And then form shortening as well. This is really good. Basically, it means whenever somebody fills in a form, if HubSpot can recognize the company, it will bring in that data dynamically. So basically giving you more complete data at source instead of, again, you having to go and spend time and do admin to search and figure out where these data points are. And then one of the final points I would make on this is that any of the data issues that you see in HubSpot, they're normally just the tip of the iceberg. and don't mean to be negative about that, but from personal experience, whenever you're seeing duplicate records, missing or incomplete data, you're seeing formatting inconsistencies, and you're seeing validation errors, HubSpot's doing all of that algorithmically. So it's just looking for really common examples of all this stuff. When we see this, we normally also see there's going to be context gaps. There's going to be conflicting data. That means that your AI is relying on bad data inputs, and there's probably long-term data integrity issues that you need to address. For example, if you've got free emails, but if I've got my former employer email, my current employer email, and then maybe another company I was at, that data is not technically wrong, but there's a context gap because they haven't actually tagged what my current employer is. So if AI is trying to basically pull out insights to say, where should I target Adam at this current company, it doesn't really know. And it's those sort of contexts that AI can't account for. So you're just going to have to work with your team in order to close those context gaps to give you the best output from your data. And this is kind of the last point on that. All tools have feedback loops. So what I would say is, in order to get the real benefit from AI, you need to almost understand what the feedback loop is. So bad data in, bad insights out, being able to understand what the correct information is in the correct context. Once you achieve that, then that's how you're going to get the most out of your tools. Okay.